All right, thanks everybody for coming today. I appreciate it. I'm sorry it is such a beautiful day. I promise to only keep you as long as I scheduled, so I will get to it. To start off with the language, if you hear me call it Bongo, it's in Brightspace. It's called Virtual Classroom, but it's was it Brightspace has a contractor as a third party tool. It's called Bongo, which is very similar to Zoom. Very similar to does a lot of the same features as Zoom. And since we pay for Brightspace, that's why they're justifying dialing down on all the Zoom accounts, which are very expensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through one of my websites in Brightspace, show you how to access the virtual classroom, how to schedule, a virtual meeting or virtual class, how to schedule it, and how to interact with the interface. I am going to warn you, I've never tested recording on Zoom and then working in Bongo. It's like two different video, synchronous video learning environments. So I do warn you, I don't know if I'm going to hit any bugs or not. So just as long as you're along for the ride and you're forgiving, I appreciate it. So, and if you have questions, I will try my best to answer them. I'm not an expert at all. I've used it about 3 or 4 times just to try and train myself, train the trainer. And I still have a long way to go, but I can show you all the interface. I can show you and give you suggestions on the different tools and functionalities of it. So that's my disclaimer. But let's go ahead and begin. So let me share my screen. Sure. Okay. So what I've done is, I'll start from just my Brightspace page. So here are a bunch of my summer courses. I'm just going to go into one of my summer courses just to show you how to access it. If you come up to activities, the very last option is virtual classroom. So that's how you access it. Now I do warn you, this is one part of the interface I don't like, is like, you're like, okay, I see active meetings, I see recorded meetings, but there's nothing there. How do I do something? Well, where do I begin? It's actually down here at the bottom right. There's a little plus sign, and here's where you actually have the schedule meeting. So if you click on this, it's very similar to the options for Zoom, but I suggest you be cognizant of your scheduling on what exactly you're going to do. So I'm just going to call this, I'll just call this EDU 665 voluntary session. Okay. You will do the date, like the meeting date, which is, it comes up with this little pop-up calendar, which is, there we go, giving me a fit. There it is. So I'm just going to put today, hit OK. Meeting time, I'm going to put now, just since, we're obviously doing it now. Max duration, you can pick how long it's going to go. It goes to 240 minutes, which I hope you never have a virtual session that long. I'm just going to do mine for 75 minutes, just in case we go over, which I seriously don't doubt it. Now here's where you can do, if you have a course, here's where you can kind of get into using the same link over and over again. So it says does not repeat. You can repeat this for 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 15 weeks. Now, some of you may say, well, what about if I'm teaching Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? What I think you have to do is create a separate Bongo link or session link for each of those specific days. So you may have to, provide your students with like a Tuesday, Thursday link to access it. So just to warn you about that. That's where it kind of differs when it comes to the features, when it comes to Zoom. That's a little bit different. If you automatically, I'm just going to leave this as does not repeat, since this training won't repeat next week or any of the following weeks. Where it says automatically record meeting, typically I suggest doing that if you're going to have a class. I'm not going to do it since I'm recording it in Zoom right now, and I don't want like some sort of weird situation happening where I'm trying to record in 2 different environments at the same time. Publish recorded meeting. Once you're done, if the meeting is recorded, all the participants will have access to the published recordings. So that's pretty nice. You will have access to the recordings regardless of the setting. So you'll have access to it, but you can also provide access to the participants. So that's something that's nice. So it actually will provide the students with a link for after they're done. If you want to allow external participants, this would be if you're doing like a large, if you're doing a large like keynote, or if you're getting like guest speakers, or you're having somebody who's going to co-facilitate or co-teach, you can allow external participants to join. What that basically does, it will generate an invite link that you can provide to external participants through email or something, okay? And this is already manually selected, but of course you can invite the entire class. You invite your entire class to this voluntary, session. It does say, please note that maximum possible amount of users is 150. So that's, so you can still have a large lecture, but it does warn you about, there is a limit and cap to this. Beyond that, you'd have to use a different tool. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit the save button. And it will show up, meeting created. And you'll see that here it is right now, my meeting, where it says actions. I can hit launch, and I'm going to hit the launch button. Okay. So it does give you a lot of the other joins, and this session is ready to be started. I'm going to click the join button. And how would you like to join the audio? I'm just going to click on microphone. I don't know what's going to happen. So I do warn you, if something happens, I will try and mute myself temporarily and try and solve it. What I'm worried about right now is I'm running Zoom and I'm recording it. I'm also about to allow access to my microphone on Bongo. So I'm worried about that. So just to, please be patient if something happens. I'm going to click allow. This is a video test. Did you hear audio? Yes.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
So I'm the only person in this conference, which is fine. I can also invite you all eventually. Let's see if I can invite, let's see, participants. I'm looking for the invite button. Let's see. Settings. One sec, sorry folks. I'm trying to figure out public chat. So here's the public chat. If you ever want to use the public chat, you can click in here and type away information, send message in public. So hello. You can attach files just like you could in Zoom. I'll try and, and it will handle pretty much every type of file that you'll deal with it. I am trying to public chat now, participants. What I'm trying to do is figure out how to share a link with you all to where you can access it, but share it in Zoom. So give me 1 second. I don't want to spend all settings. Darn it. Let's see.
But Ryan, we understand that if this was a class, it would have already sent an invitation to everybody in the class.
Yes. But what I was doing is like right now I'm alone in here. So I was going to see if I could get you to join. I'm just right now failing to find where to actually find the link to get you to join. But I'm just going to go through the interface like I promised I would. So this way I'm not wasting everybody's time. Okay, so participants, as you can see, right now I'm the only one here. It says presenters, but you would see a big list of everybody here. Much very similar when it comes to the different types of user interface where you actually can see all the different people. You would also have master controls if you wanted to mute somebody because they're talking, or if you want to mute yourself, you can. So anyway, public chat, you can come in here and start typing away where it says send message to public chat. And let's see, this arrow just hits that it's going to happen. It's going to actually do the execute. Let's see. There is polling. So if you want to set up a poll, select an option. I'm just going to do yes, no. Let's see, leave this one. Stop polling, user interface. Stop publishing poll, yes, no. There we go. Poll results were published. And it's just, you can click yes or no. It's just for, me just to share that's how you can do it. So you can poll in here and set up questions to send to everybody. You go back to polling options, A, B, C, or D. To create a custom poll, select the button below. So custom poll, add option. So anyway, I'm just in here clicking on the polling options. You can do yes, no questions, A, B. You can do A, B, C, D, true or false. You can set those up. You can set up a question on the screen, and then they can obviously answer it through a poll. Can everybody see the actual poll that's up on the screen? The yes or the no?
Yes.
Okay. Feel free to answer it if you can, but I just wanted to make sure that you could see it, that you can actually have access to it. If you're in this environment, you want to hit the start recording button. You hit this button right here. It says start recording. I will not do that just because I'm already recording it in Zoom. If you want to do breakout rooms, there's a little icon right on the left-hand side. It's you can see there's participants right here. So participants, there's the public chat, there's polling, and on the fourth icon down, there's breakout rooms. So what I can do is I can break everybody out just like in Zoom, break you out into different groups and give you different prompts, or have you all have a discussion like you would do very much similar to like a Zoom situation. Okay, so presentations. So what I can do is I can upload my presentations to Bongo. So let's say, let me see, I did have a smaller presentation I was going to put in here so it wouldn't choke up all the bandwidth. Let's see. May have disappeared. May have put it away. See if I can find something small.
Ryan, would you recommend uploading a presentation as opposed to just sharing your screen? Or is that the way you share a presentation when you're in Bongo?
I haven't explored the benefits or the the negatives when it comes to actually doing either way. I'm just showing you all the functionality. You can upload presentations. The problem is my presentations are so darn large that they're just going to choke up all the bandwidth. I'm trying to find something that's smaller.
But you can share your screen?
Yes, I'll do it in just a second. This one's actually not terrible. Let me see if this will work. Session 4, teaching new things in new ways. So I'm going to click the upload button. And it's probably converting it into some sort of, it's probably just bringing it into the environment. Oh my goodness. So it does take a little bit of time. My suggestion is doing it earlier. And as you can see, it's here. Let's see, sharing screen. You should be able to share your screen. I don't want to make it full screen. I just want to share.
We can see that.
Is that
What was
down at
that?
the bottom?
We can see that.
You can
Yeah,
see
but that's uploaded.
what?
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to know how to share my screen without uploading.
There.
yep, it's right here.
Okay.
Here's why I'm nervous about it. Like I knew where the icons were. Here's why I'm nervous about testing it right now is because I'm sharing my screen on Zoom right now. So I'm worried about the whole situation about sharing in Bongo and also sharing in Zoom, that it's going to cause some sort of like error to happen.
Yeah,
But-
you don't have to do it as long as we know the functionality is there.
Yep. So here's mute.
You are now muted.
Yep.
You are now unmuted.
Here is, you can leave audio, but here's the share the webcam. So if I hit share where, I'm just going to test it, see if it works. Start sharing. So here's my actual audio right now working through that. Can everybody still see me on Zoom though?
In a small square.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we see you on the right side like we normally do in Zoom. We also see you above the presentation.
Okay. Yeah, I'm working with some very weird voodoo right now, just doing two different video conferencing softwares right now at the same time. Let's go ahead and just see if I can share my screen at the same time as well. Why not? You know what? Let me actually do a second screen where I actually had all the directions and see if that would work. Yep. So here's my screen also. So I just hit share screen. So it looks like it's actually working. You actually can see your faces right here on Zoom. So again, I'm going to stop sharing just in case it starts to fail me. And it does give you a prompt saying that it ended, like the screen had ended. So I'm going to hit the stop sharing webcam just so that I'm not going to get issues with the recordings.
Brian, what's the little green triangle in the upper right-hand corner?
Signal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's telling me, it's giving me it's giving me how my signal is. Like right now it's 13 ms, which is not too bad. It would give me, I could test like download speeds. If it starts to like get lower, as you can see, that's like concerning. Like right now it's fine, but it's a good indicator about how strong your bandwidth is right at the moment.
Right.
Brian, can you show again where you got the upload link? Like where did you click to do that?
The upload link for,
Yeah.
you mean for the presentation?
Yes. Like where is the icon that you selected to get to that?
I wonder if it's not on because I already have it's right here. It says presentations. So you click on presentations and it'll give you the upload button. Here, I'll do it real quick. You see, I'm just going to hit cancel because I'm already sharing one. But if you hit presentations, you can upload it in advance. And what it happens is it's probably going to be a little bit smoother when it comes to the presentation, like sharing video in case it's unstable. If you put your presentation already up on Bongo, it actually may help keep your Bongo session more stable because the file is actually uploaded to Bongo at this time. You're not sharing it off of your hard drive, which again could be a bandwidth issue when it comes to the internet and signal. So right now, it's probably best when it comes to bandwidth to put your presentation up first. However, if you just want to share your screen, that's also going to work for you. If you have great internet, that should work as well. I just wanted to warn you that putting the presentation up there is probably going to keep maybe the video call a little bit more stable because the file is off your computer. But again, if you want to have access, if you want to keep your PowerPoint, not share it firsthand or something like that, you can, of course, just hit the share screen and go to town. I will say the share your screen, the functionality, I'm still not an expert on. I'm a little bit, I did have an experience where I would see the forever screen where it was just kind of like bleeding, almost like it was very trippy, like it was kind of like going back because I was sharing my screen. It didn't like that very much. It just kept on going on. And the only thing I did was I just stopped sharing and reshared it. It was fine, but I may have been doing something wrong. Anyway, so it's just giving you my experiences. It was anyway, to make, what was that?
Can I ask another quick question?
Yes, go ahead.
You had hovered over the telephone there and it said leave audio. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that means? Never
touched it. I think it means that, so a lot of the times you can connect your phone through this. So it may be that when it says leave audio, it might be that it's leaving like it off of the telephone conversation, because not only can you connect to this virtually through the internet, but you also can connect it through your phone. So that's what I think it means. But I'm not 100% sure. I can click on it and see what happens. You have left the audio conference.
Okay, that makes sense. Now
Yep.
You're leaving Bongo.
Yeah. So yeah.
Got it. Sorry about that.
It just means I turned it off. Sorry.
I have a question for you too, Ryan. You have your PowerPoint up. I remember Zoom had some finicky things when you wanted to go to an internet site on your PowerPoint. You know, you wanted to be able to have a good visual and sound at the same time. You had to remember to click, you know, the sound button and other things.
That's when you're sharing video, right?
Bongo? Yeah.
Is that when you're sharing video and audio files? Like
yeah, so when you're doing a PowerPoint and you click on a site to get to video files, sometimes or just to get on the internet, you've got a little Google clip you want to show your students. You know, there's a few little tricks you learned along the way with Zoom, like to be sure you click on the share sound before you do your class and other things like that. Are there any little tricks you need to know with Bongo? Or
that's a good question, because I have not tried to share video through it yet. Let me see if I can find let's see, nursery rhymes. Oh, not 75 minutes of it. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get this to work. Okay, so let me stop sharing this. Let me just go ahead and share my screen and see how this works. Okay, now I'm gonna click. Can everybody see the YouTube clip right here?
No.
Okay, so, oh, see, that's where it was going. Can everybody see how it went off into infinity?
No.
I think we're all just in the Zoom meeting now. I think
That's right.
Okay. What am I, hold on, let me make sure. I may not be sharing the screen. Hold on. I'm not sharing the screen. Hold on. Let's see. Let me go stop sharing. Let me share in Zoom. Share screen. Because I wasn't sharing in Zoom. Oh, I told you, this is like torture. Okay, so let me try again. So here it is. Can everybody now see my screen in Bongo?
Yes.
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 So here's a YouTube clip. Can you see the YouTube clip?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear it too.
Let's learn a special way to stretch and calm our...
Sorry, everybody. Just wanted to make sure. How did that work? Did it work okay? I'm sorry, I'm having to test this as we go.
Worked fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could hear it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure to give you all something G-rated. Okay. It does work. Again, I have had the experiences to where sometimes I'll share the screen and it will go into like kind of like a loop where it goes into infinity, but that one actually worked rather smoothly. What I suggest you do is you hit share screen, you just have it up as a tab or a link someplace to make life easier for yourselves. So this way you can just go right to the YouTube clip or the Google video clip or whatever you have. Let's see. Ray asked, Ray, is this private? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the question was, since Bongo has polling, is there any capability of having an equivalent function to turning point in PowerPoint slides?
I haven't tried to test the PowerPoint in Bongo. I've just used, I know that you can poll just like in Zoom, or you can poll in Bongo. I don't even know if it saves the polling results. I've only used it. I haven't experienced like the analytics or anything like that. So I don't know if it's equivalent to like turning point in PowerPoint. So sorry, Ray. There is the knowledge base, which might be able to give you a little bit more information on polling. It may be able to give you how to download results and how to interact with it a little bit more. I'll make sure that that link is placed in the chat box, just in case you don't have it. So just wanted to make sure I answered this question. Okay, so Okay, so let me go back to, okay, so I'm in the slideshow and I'm just advancing with no problems here. You can reset it. You can zoom in if you want to. You can zoom out if you want to make it a little bit smaller. You can obviously change the width of this. You see I have the little button. That's kind of like where you're pointing at the moment. So this way, I think it's, since it's recording, I think it's showing where my mouse is. So this way it's kind of like tracking it as it goes. Let me see. Turn multi-user whiteboard on. That's kind of cool. So I am going to warn you all, I am starting to get an issue with the bandwidth. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Yes, I
nice and
Yeah, we can
clear.
hear you.
Yes.
I'm in the red now, so I'm just warning. It might be because I'm sharing in Zoom. I'm running through this, so try not to use Zoom and Bongo at the same time. Okay. Turn multi-user whiteboard on. Not gotten a chance to play with this because it is okay, on. So I'm trying to remember how to get to the whiteboard in here. Full screen settings. It may be because I'm sharing this. It might be because I'm actually sharing my presentation. Just want to keep on going. Hide presentation. Let's see if it'll let me do the, see, it just turned off my whiteboard now. Restore presentation. Okay. Turn multi-user whiteboard on. Can everybody see if, oh no, you can't because you're not in my, sorry about that. So let me go ahead and just talk about the features and why this is nice and why it is beneficial to put your presentations up. You can actually, if you want to, have this almost as a whiteboard. If you were a part of my Bongo session right now, we could actually go on like a whiteboard and actually share and sketch up and doodle and stuff and actually type text on a joint whiteboard. So that's useful for interactivity and so forth. Let's see, you can clear all the annotations. You can undo all the you can undo an annotation. You let's see, there's other tools. Let's see, there's text. Let's see if I can actually type on here. Hello. Let's see, you can do different colors if you want to. You can undo, again, let's see, let me click out of there. So let's see if the undo works on this. No, it's just adding more text. So if you want to mark something up or caption it, it's helpful. So I don't want to turn this off. Do I click on? You can draw lines if you want to. So if I want to like measure the iris, it's kind of freaky. Draw ellipses. So you can mark up your presentations if you want to make it a little bit more interactive. You can actually do freehand. Terrible heart. So this way, if you want to do math, you can obviously get on the board and draw it.
Ryan, where did you bring up the board? Was that under the trash can that you brought it up?
Yes. So it says
Okay.
turn multi-user whiteboard on. I can also then turn it off. So you can actually turn it on and off, toggle it back and forth. So this way, if you don't want people drawing on it, you don't have to have them draw on it. Let's see. Pan. I'm trying to remember. Oh, maybe I just hit undo. There it is. I think undo. So just be careful if you're going to undo all of your drawings. Just click it slowly because sometimes there's a little bit of delay since it's a video feature. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for it to actually, you know, it's kind of like clicking on your remote control. You know, and it's kind of stalls for a second and you click it like 10 times. What it'll do is it'll go through the channel like 10 times. There's that little delay. So just be careful with that. So if you click on the undo, it will undo it. Just go slow and give it a moment. Let's see. If you want to make it full screen, you can. If you want to make, you know, bigger, it obviously helps with the view. I'm going to exit it just to keep it manageable when it comes to all the screens I'm on. Closed captioning. So if you need closed captioning, let's give it a little test here. Enable closed captioning. Let's see how it works. Hello. Darn it.
You are now muted.
You have to press the closed captioning button down there on the lower left.
Is it on? Start viewing closed captions. Let's see, English. Oh, okay. Can it see closed captioning? Hello. It's not working. Okay, it may show up if it's a YouTube clip, I wonder.
Oh,
Rachel asked if it records, well, just to get off the closed captions and stuff, if we record in Bongo, where does the recording live? So you know how in Zoom you could do it, you can save it to your computer or you can save it to the cloud. Well, Bongo is much the same way. You can save it to your computer or you can save it to the cloud. When you save it to the cloud, it generates a really long URL address. So this way you can share that with anybody that you want to share it with. I have not tested Bongo and downloaded. I have actually, no, I did test it. I tested it and I downloaded the file. It does save as an MP4 file to your computer. The issue is I think when you get it, it packages it almost like in a zip file, and there's different there's different files in it. I think it does do audio only. It does video and audio. It does have a running record of the chat box. So it does kind of do it like Zoom does. So just FYI, I think you can control it if it records both on your computer and on the cloud. When it does it to the cloud, it does provide you with that link. Okay, so let me close out a chat. I showed you presentation. I showed you the whiteboard. I'm trying to think of any other tools. Sorry, I couldn't get closed captioning to work. It may be because I'm not doing a video at the moment. And it's tough because if you ever share YouTube clips, you can also turn the closed captioning on to YouTube as well. So if that's not working and you're trying to share a YouTube clip, you can always turn it on YouTube as well. Let's see. I don't remember what the closed captioning is on. No, not reports. Settings. No. Oh, come on. Go back up. I am trying to find on YouTube, where is the closed captioning? It's usually a CC someplace. And it's usually around here. Play, mute, autoplay, settings, no, mini player, theater mode, play on TV. That's report if it's something bad.
It's not in settings.
it's not on every YouTube video.
I'm surprised. It's usually auto-generated. I don't want to go through all this weird stuff here. There it is. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is only on several clips. So you can also hit closed captioning on YouTube clips where it's available. I was going to see if I could get Bongo to test it out, but I'm not going to. I'm too worried that it's going to be too much going on our screen at the same time. Okay. I'm trying to think of anything. Start recording.
With the breakout rooms, can we design who goes into them, or it'll do it automatically?
So can everybody see that still? So yes, so number of rooms, you pick how many rooms there are.
Good.
You can do the duration in minutes, and you can obviously put the people in here as well. If you want to create more rooms, you can just do the drag down, and you can do 8, and then here you can type them in real quick.
Right.
So and you can also do randomly assign if you just wanted to randomly assign folks. It says duration. Although I might do like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do 10 minutes, you discover that's way too long. You can automatically close the breakout rooms and have everybody go back to the same screen. I just can't emulate it right now because I don't have anybody in here except me. And then you hit to create. So let me see if I can just put myself. I see it's not going to do it because I'm only one. It's also probably not going to assign me. It's not going to assign me because I'm the moderator. So let me hit cancel. Anyway, the breakout rooms are there. I have also not tried to set up breakout rooms before the session begins. My suggestion is just have kind of like a Microsoft Word document of the groups that you want to generate. This way you can just kind of copy and paste them over, and it makes life a little bit, or you can just go and make them really quickly while you're on. So that's my suggestion. Let's see. Just a reminder, if you got here a little bit late, Bongo is the kind of like the company name. It's a third-party tool. So if you ever go to virtual classroom, that's in the virtual classroom, you might hear it as Bongo. It's the same thing. It's the third-party name that Brightspace has a contract with. I'm going to put into the Zoom chat box. I'm going to place this up here, which is is the link to the helpful Bongo help site with all the tutorials and information guides and stuff. Anything that you could ask will give you even better answers than I could. So let me go ahead and put this
Ryan, I have a question.
There you go. Yes.
It looks like the virtual classroom is connected to a particular class. So if you want to, if for example, I wanted to collaborate with my colleagues who are teaching other sections of the same course, we'd be better off using Teams, right? Because if we wanted everybody to come to one meeting, like for example, we have a panel discussion in Nursing 303, and rather than trying to get a panel together, 3 times, if we have 3 sections, we usually coordinate it and just have one panel discussion and invite all the students. In that scenario, would we be more, would that be easier to do, just to do a Teams meeting and give everybody the link rather than try to do virtual, because virtual classroom is tied to a particular section of a particular course. Is that correct?
Correct. So I mean, Teams is a great tool. You could probably do all the same thing. I think the solution that you were talking about would work in Teams. However, remember that Bongo allows you to invite external participants. So you can have people come in from outside the class. So if, say for instance, if you have a co-teacher or you have a guest speaker, or in your case, if you have colleagues that you want to come in and you want to have a meeting and stuff like that, you can just go to a class and just have them join the link. And that's fine. It's although it's going to be technically in a space, they're going to gain access to it through a link. I think the link is sent via email. So so it will work.
But would I have to put in the name of every single student? So for example, if we have 3 sections of Nursing 303, and each section has 20 students in it, and we want all those 20 students as well as the instructors to attend one panel discussion. I'm just thinking that it would be, rather than try to put in everybody's name, it would be easier to set it up in Teams as a Teams meeting, and then put the link in each section, post the link in each section, than to try to do a virtual discussion in this format.
That's related to a question I was going to ask. Like, if I have cross-listed section, well, they're not cross-listed necessarily in Brightspace. It's like I have to enter in the same stuff for 2 sections who both come to the same Zoom session. So in this class, in Bongo, can I invite students from 2 different sections to come to the same meeting?
Yes, you can. So what happens is when you set up so let me do this. Let me end this session and try and see if I can start a new session, because what happens is you can invite outside people to come to the same class. It's just once you set the meeting, you just have to provide the ability for external participants to come and involve. It's basically chalk it down to sharing a link with everybody. Once they click on the link, they can join whatever. So if you have 3 sections that are taking a massive lecture or participating in something or doing or the dissertation candidates have to all meet, you can go into a section of a class. You can set up a virtual classroom session. But once you set up your meeting, you just have to click and allow external participants to join. What it's going to do is just going to publish a link for you, and you have to get that link to all your students. So what you would do is you would send that link to all of the 3 different classes. So what you do is go into an announcement and say, we're going to do this massive whatever. Please click on this link at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
And then everybody will be on the same place. Just remember there's 150 person capacity.
I think also I accidentally set up a virtual class meeting in Bongo at the beginning of spring.
Okay.
And I think it becomes like a Brightspace item that if I'm in another section, I can find it within all my course materials and it'll be the same link. So always more than one way to do it.
Yes. And I'm trying to train myself as I go, but it's hard because sometimes I train as I'm training myself. It's not like I can train. It's usually me. I'm the only goldfish in the goldfish bowl at the time to try and test things out. So sometimes I just need more people. So
Ryan, can I
yes.
ask a related question?
Uh-huh.
So does it have to be a class to use Bongo? And I was asking Krista about this, because I've got like a graduate alumni book group that I run. So how would I set up a meeting for them? Or is that better to use Teams, which I've also never used?
So, okay. And I'm trying not to give bad information here. You can go to any class that you have and you can really invite anybody you want. Because it allows for external participants. When you click on allow external participants, it creates a link that anybody can click on. However, Teams is, where virtual classroom is really meant to be a virtual classroom. It's meant to be a synchronous place for you to have a class. A book club, you may have better luck in controlling the functionality in Teams. But I'm going to say that, can you do it in Bongo? Yes, you can.
Teams is pretty easy to use, Gina. It's very similar to Zoom in terms of functionality once you kind of get used to where they have things. I've used both.
Okay.
And it's not that much different than Zoom.
Okay.
You just need to play with it a little bit.
And if, I'm also considering Teams because I know somebody who could help me a lot with Teams. Do the students have to get that app or whatever?
Teams is free if you're a student at Notre Dame. All the faculty have Teams, or they technically should have it on their computers. I'm waiting to actually get professionally developed in Teams. I've used it before. I know it's easy, but I also need to understand how to actually use it for groups, meetings, and so forth. So I wanted to really train myself in Bongo and kind of get that in my knowledge base. I'm waiting to get professionally developed to understand how to use it better across campus and in the School of Education and meetings and so forth. I'm still waiting to learn myself.
I can tell you that the tricky thing about it is that the students may have a Microsoft account at their work or personal, and they have to log out of that and log on to their Notre Dame Microsoft account, or they won't be given access to the Teams meeting.
Yep, Rachel's absolutely right. Since I adjunct at Hopkins, it constantly forces me to sign in at my Hopkins account and then sign in at my Notre Dame account, and it's a small bit of hell. But it is, yes, you can do it. I'm just warning you that there are these little hiccups You know, we definitely love our technology. Let me go ahead and we have a few more minutes. I just want to stop the Bongo. I just want to end the Bongo show and show you what your options are. I think I showed you about as much functionality as I can, I think, show you without actually having everybody in. So let me end the Bongo. Let me see. So I want to hit end meeting. So it's just, I went to the top right hand side, there's the 3 dots. I'm gonna hit end meeting. We'll disconnect all users. And you can see the session has ended. You hit OK. And thank you for using it. Please close this window. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this and go back into my virtual classroom and hit the refresh button, just so I can see if the session's there. No active meeting yet, no recorded meetings yet. Oh, it's because I couldn't record it, that's why. So what'll happen is after you're done, you may have to give it a few more minutes. What'll happen is recorded meetings will show up down here. I couldn't do it because I'm recording it in Zoom right now. Then you could, obviously, I think you can download it and it would download as a compressed file, or it can also, then you can get the link that you can share with your participants. So this way, and you can take that link and you can post it in an announcement if you want to. Again, there's a lot of different things that you can do with it.
Ryan, I have a question for you. How many students can I see on my screen when presenting with Bongo?
So I went to the knowledge base and it said something like 10 at a time, but everybody's still connected. I did read that they were supposed to update that soon. When? Don't know. But I am saying that they're actively increasing the amount of people that they can see at a time.
Great, thanks.
All right, so I'm just gonna stop sharing. Let's see, and answer any more of your questions. So yeah, Patty, I'm looking right now. Let's see, for virtual launch and end. Let's see, instructor, check. How can I use virtual classroom? I'm trying to find in the knowledge base right now how many it says. Let's see, instructor schedule invite. Learning. I saw it when I joined. Let's see. Call in, audio, video, instructor schedule, invite others, launch. Maybe it's in schedule. I thought it was 8 to 10. It's okay, here it is. You can schedule a virtual classroom meeting with your entire class, an individual learner or multiple learners in your course with up to 10 simultaneous webcams. So that means that, I mean, they're still connected. It's just you can only see 10 webcams at a time. However, I did hear that they were going to increase that capacity, and I thought it was going to happen in a relative short amount of time. So I've been hearing about this update the last couple, at least the last month or two. I've been hearing about the update that's coming. So are there any other questions? And again, the ones that I don't know, I'm happy to go back to to Chrissa and others and ask.
So I guess it looks fine for a class, but we've been having more and more virtual meetings. You know, I have to meet with preceptors and students, and if I'm given the same link out to every meeting that I get, am I going to have drop-ins or?
You don't want to, you want to create a unique meeting for every time you have a subject. My suggestion is if you're going to have a type of meeting like you're talking about, is to create a separate meeting for each. Because what's going to happen is you're right, you're going to keep on passing that link out. You're going to start mixing it up, or people are going to start mixing up their own links. So my suggestion is, if you're going to do meetings, as in meetings like to deal with like your schools or your departments, like official business, is the best tool to use right now is Zoom, and then Teams eventually as well. So.
Okay, and so outside people don't have to sign in to Brightspace to get into the link?
No.
They don't have to have a Notre Dame address?
No. Well, it depends on how you, again, the link is the invitation. So it depends on how you send that link out to them. So they have to have an email address to send that link out to them.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a Notre Dame email account, but you have to make sure that they get access to that link. Okay. Okay, well, that is the official end of this training. I'm going to be looking forward to more on Teams as well. I think that's going to be handling a lot of our the load of our meetings, our virtual meetings. Everybody likes the meetings now, and I agree 100%. But again, you still have access to Zoom until and here's the thing: even when we lose access to the pro accounts, you can still use Zoom for short meetings. They're not going to be very long, but you still have access to it. Because the Zoom basic account, I think gives, was it 30 or 40 minutes? I think it's 40 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Still
45.
gives you, what is it?
45.
Yeah, it gives
45.
you, yeah, they have throttled back up and down that time several times throughout the pandemic. So it used to be an hour, used to be a half hour, used to be 40 minutes. Now I guess it's 45, which is fine. That's still a decent length of a meeting, and you can always do it again. So Kath says, thank you, another puzzle to solve. It's really, once you get involved, again, virtual classroom is really geared towards synchronous sessions with your students. However, you can do, again, just like they said about, you can do book clubs, you can do exterior meetings like that. It's just you have to make sure to give them that link. You have to provide the external participants the access.
Yep. And you're talking about Brightspace when you say you have to provide something for the external, not Teams.
Yeah, so once you went into Bongo, okay, so I don't know if I can do it anymore because it's still a meeting. What you do is, let me just see if I can do it again. I don't know if, see, it's still, let me see if I can actually do a meeting right now, because I had a meeting beforehand. So let's just do test. I'll share my screen in just a second. Meeting date, come on, the 16th. Okay. Meeting time will be now. Okay, so let me share my screen real quick and just show you again. So share screen. Okay, so here's the schedule meeting. This is what I was doing before. I'm just clicking now, do 60 minutes. I'm not going to repeat. Where it says allow external participants, like that, and you hit save. So again, I'm hovering over allow external participants. This will generate an invite link that you can provide to external participants. So you give them a link in an email, you give it to them, somehow you get them this link. They click on it, and then they have access to your scheduled meeting. Okay, so it's generating kind of like this invitation for them to go in. So I'm just going to click allow external participants. I'm hitting save. There we go. So actions. So copy external link. And it may not. So what'll happen is let me see if it'll actually work. So here is my link to the invite. So you have to, and again, I'm sorry, it's a really long, nasty URL address, but this is the link that they would click on to access your virtual meeting. So again, you can, even though this is like a gaming course, if I invite you to this link, it should give you access to it. It's not going to give you access to my Brightspace site. It's just going to give you access to this Bongo interactive session.
Thanks, Ryan.
No problem. Hopefully this clarified things a bit. I'm sorry I can't like interact with everything because I had to record this. what I'll do is I'll see if I can set up maybe a follow-up session to where I don't record it and we can get on and play it, and I can have you all join. So this way you can actually do and participate actually in the classroom. I'm just going to stop sharing. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Ryan.
you.
I'm going to give you back a couple
Ryan,
minutes.
really appreciate your help.
Thanks, Ryan.
Be safe, everybody. Have a great summer if I don't see you.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.